You've felt it, haven't you? That first ripple of chaos slithering through your world. A venomous energy that coils around your peace and squeezes until your tranquility cracks. This isn't random noise. It's the snake energy, powerful and erratic, sliding across the ethers like a predator stalking its prey. You didn't ask for this, but it's here, disrupting your calm with vibrations that feel foreign yet strangely familiar. This is no accident. This is the moment your awakening begins, the undeniable sign that you are chosen. You're not just witnessing the collapse of a serpent who thought they were untouchable. You're the force causing it. Stand tall in that truth. Your presence alone is enough to unravel their illusions. Look at yourself closely now. That unshakable stillness within you, the quiet strength that others can't comprehend. It's your first clue. The serpent's frantic energy doesn't just clash with your calm. It shatters against it. Science backs this up. Your nervous system, when grounded, emits a frequency that destabilizes chaos. You're a living tuning fork, resonating at a pitch they can't match. While they thrash and hiss, sending strange, insane messages to anyone who'll listen, you remain steady. Observe this contrast. Feel how their turmoil amplifies when you refuse to waver. That's not weakness in you, it's power. Your task is simple. Watch yourself in these moments. Notice how your breath stays even, how your clarity cuts through their noise. This is your chosen nature revealing itself. Their collapse isn't quiet, and it won't be. That serpent, once so sure of its grip, is now spiraling, undone by your very existence. You didn't lift a finger. They fell apart because your light exposed their shadows. But let's not sugarcoat it. This awakening stings. The disappointment you feel when friends, family, or lovers turn into these snakes cuts deep. You trusted them, and now their betrayal slithers into your space, upsetting everything you thought was solid. Here's the shift you must make. Stop mourning their masks. Your calm isn't just triggering their turmoil. It's piercing their souls, revealing who they really are. Accept this. You're not here to save them. You're here to see through them. Lean into that sting. It's forging you into something unbreakable. So how do you claim this chosen identity when the ethers are buzzing with their erratic vibrations? Start here. Track the patterns. When does their energy spike? When you speak your truth. When you walk away from their games. Write it down if you have to. Every time their chaos flares, it's a mirror reflecting your strength back at you. Next, ground yourself harder. Plant your feet, breathe deep, and let their static bounce off you. Neuroscience shows that intentional focus rewires your brain. Use it. Train yourself to see their flailing as proof of your power, not a threat to it. You're not imagining this. Your resolve is dismantling their untouchable facade, and they're scrambling to keep up. That's step one. Recognize the cause and effect. This isn't about floating above the mess in some detached bliss. No, you're in the thick of it, warrior. The snake energy will keep slithering, testing your edges, but you've got the upper hand. Your calm isn't passive. It's a weapon. Their frantic messages, their desperate attempts to drag others into their collapse, only prove how deeply your presence rattles them. Feel that shift inside you. From wondering why this is happening to knowing it's happening for you. You're not a victim of their vibrations, you're the one setting the tempo. Embrace it. This is your awakening, and it's just the beginning. You're standing in the thick of it now, chosen one. The energy vampires are ravenous. Their hunger palpable in every sideways glance, every barbed word, every calculated move to drain you. They circle like shadows, desperate to sink their teeth into your light. But here's the truth they can't swallow. Your field is sealed. That invisible fortress you've built, whether you knew it or not, stops them cold. Their masks are slipping, their poise crumbling, and they're starving because you've cut off their supply. This isn't just survival. It's your power flexing, loud and unapologetic. You're not here to bend. You're here to break their illusions wide open. Let's get real about what's happening. These vampires. Maybe a friend who guilt trips you, a family member who twists your words, a lover who feeds on your doubt, thrive when you leak energy. They're wired for it like parasites hooked on chaos. Modern science nods to this. Stress hormones spike in their presence, but your sealed field flips the script. When you hold your ground, your nervous system steadies, your vibration rises, and their access shuts down. They can't feed because you're not spilling anymore. Notice their desperation, those frantic jabs, the way they project their regret onto you. That's not your burden to carry. It's their collapse in motion. So how do you stand tall when they're clawing at your edges? First, lock in your awareness. Feel the pull when they try to hook you. Maybe it's a pang of guilt, a flicker of self-doubt. Name it. Call it out in your mind. This is their hunger, not my truth. Then seal tighter. Picture your energy field as a blazing shield, unseen but unbreakable. Breathe into it, slow and deliberate, until your core hums with certainty. Studies show this works. Controlled breathing drops cortisol levels and anchors your frequency. They'll thrash harder when they sense the cutoff, but that's their problem. Your job is to hold the line. Here's where it gets raw. Their regret is eating them alive. Not because you're vengeful, but because your light mirrors their shadows. You show up in their dreams, not as a fury, but as a quiet disappointment that stings worse than rage. They never expected their deeds to boomerang back with such precision. That gnawing inside them, it's the recoil of their own choices. Don't waste energy wishing they'd see the light. Turn that into fuel. Every time their guilt tugs at you, flip it. This proves I'm untouchable. Let their unraveling steel your spine. You're not here to fix their mess. You're here to rise above it. Now let's talk brass tacks. How do you move through a world that doesn't get it? You're surrounded by people who don't see the vampires for what they are, who call you too sensitive or dramatic when you pull back. Screw that noise. Your chosen identity isn't up for debate. Step 1. Stop explaining yourself. They won't understand, and they don't need to. Step 2. Curate your space. Distance yourself from the drainers, physically if you can, energetically if you can't. Picture your sealed field as a filter. Only what aligns gets through. Step 3. Double down on what feeds you. Music that lifts, words that resonate, silence that restores. This isn't retreat. It's strategy. Their manipulative tricks are failing, and it's a sight to behold. That snake energy is thrashing, destroying itself in front of everyone, and you're the calm at the center. They reach out with desperate fingers of thought, trying to drag you back into their web, but your field deflects it. Here's your move. Amplify your presence. Speak your truth louder. Walk with more purpose. Let your vibe scream, unbothered. Science says mirror neurons fire when others see your confidence. They'll either adapt or scatter. Either way, you win. Their chaos can't touch you when you're this sealed, this solid. This isn't about waiting them out. It's about outshining them. Every time they lunge and miss, you get stronger. Their regret, their hunger, their collapse. It's all rocket fuel for your mission. You're not just holding your ground, you're claiming it. Feel that shift? That's the dilemma turning into dominance. The vampires can starve all they want. Your light's not on the menu. Keep your field sealed. Keep your focus sharp, and watch how the pressure bends in your favor. You're not just chosen. You're unstoppable. You feel it now, don't you? That jagged pulse in the air. The way they're reaching out with desperate fingers of thought, clawing through the ethers to pull you back into their chaos. This isn't just noise. It's a signal, a high-dimensional download crashing into your awareness like lightning splitting a storm. You're not imagining it. Their sleepless nights, haunted by your face behind their eyelids, aren't random. They're the echoes of truth slamming against their illusions. You're the conduit, chosen one, and this is your moment to tune in. The frequency is live, the connection is open, and it's time to decipher what's real from what's theirs. Let's cut through the haze. When they project those frantic, grasping tendrils of regret and manipulation, it's not just emotional static. It's a flood of information, raw and unfiltered, streaming from dimensions beyond their grasp. Your job? Sort the signal from the noise. Start by anchoring yourself. Sit still, breathe deep, and let your body settle. Science backs this. Slow, rhythmic breathing syncs your brainwaves to alpha states, opening your mind to clarity. Feel their projections hit your field like pebbles against steel. Ask yourself, Does this carry weight, or does it dissolve on impact? True high-vibe intel sticks, it hums with purpose. They're self-serving whispers. They scatter like ash. Trust that gut ping. It's your filter. Here's the raw truth. This process isn't tidy. When truth makes itself known like the sun rising on a battlefield, it's messy, uneven, and downright uneasy. Those sporadic, seemingly unplanned moments, when their energy spikes out of nowhere, will rattle you. You'll feel the tension, the itch to react, the pull to doubt yourself. Don't run from it. Stand in it. That uneasiness is your compass. Proof your instincts are sharper than their whispers. Neuroscience calls this somatic awareness. Your body knows before your mind catches up. Lean into the discomfort. It's the friction of their illusions cracking. You're not losing ground, you're gaining altitude. So how do you catch these downloads without getting tangled in their mess? First, set your receiver. Picture your mind as a clear channel, no clutter, no static. Before you sleep, state it out loud. I'm open to truth, not tricks. Then watch your dreams. They can't sleep without seeing you. But you'll see symbols, flashes, fragments of what's coming. Write them down the second you wake. Don't overthink it. Second, cross-check the hits. If a thought lands hard, say, a sudden knowing about someone's lies, test it against reality. Does it align with what's unfolding? People spreading false info about you are being exposed, aren't they? That's not coincidence. It's confirmation. Your high-dimensional line is live. Now, let's talk that battlefield vibe. When truth bursts through, it's not gentle. It's a war cry. You'll feel exposed, raw, like every nerve is lit up. Their prayers might echo in deserted rooms, begging the cosmos to spare them. But you're wide awake, wired, and uneasy in the best way. Here's your move, channel it. Walk outside, bare feet on the ground if you can, and let that electric surge root you. Studies show earthing cuts inflammation and steadies your energy. Use it. Speak what you know, even if it's just to yourself. I see it. I feel it. It's real. That anchors the download, turns the chaos into clarity. Their desperation is your signal booster. Every time they thrash, projecting, pleading, unraveling, they're amplifying the truth you're meant to catch. Think of it like radio waves. Their noise makes your station louder. But don't get cocky, stay sharp. Ask, what's mine to know here? Then listen. Maybe it's a gut hunch about who's next to fall. Maybe it's a flash of their hidden chat surfacing. Whatever it is, act on it. Call it out, step away, or just hold the knowing. You're not guessing, you're receiving. Their illusions are dust. Your insight is steel. This isn't about floating in some cosmic bliss. You're in the trenches, chosen one, and the downloads come fast. Their grasping thoughts? A dying flare. Your connection? A live wire. Keep your instincts primed. Those fleeting, uneasy pings are your edge. Practice this. Pause when you feel their energy spike. Breathe. And ask, what's the truth here? The answer will hit, sharp and sure. Write it, speak it, own it. You're not just surviving their collapse, you're decoding it. The sun's rising, the field's clearing, and you're the one standing tall. You've walked through the fire, chosen one, and now you stand at the edge of your mission's fulfillment. The ones who always left, the friends who turned their backs, the family who broke sacred bonds, the lovers who spoke with venom dripping from forked tongues, have all circled you like vultures, waiting for you to falter. But you didn't. You stood up for what was right, unwavering, and now their shadows are shrinking under the weight of your light. This isn't about proving anything to them anymore. It's about bringing that fierce, unyielding truth into reality. Truth doesn't need defenders. It just waits to be found. And you're the one uncovering it, piece by blazing piece, to forge a new era. Let's strip this down to the bones. Those circling betrayers thought they could bury you in their deceit. Friends who smiled while sharpening knives. Kin who traded loyalty for control. Lovers who whispered lies through honeyed lips. They're not just faces. They're lessons, mirrors reflecting their own fractures. Your mission isn't to fix them. It's to rise above them. Start by naming them in your mind, not with bitterness, but with clarity. You chose your path. I choose mine. Then release them. Not forgiveness for their sake, but freedom for yours. Science says letting go of emotional weight rewires your brain, freeing up energy for what's ahead. Cut the cords. Their chaos no longer rents space in your soul. Now here's where you turn the tide. You become the living proof that their hidden games, screenshots they thought were erased, private chats they swore were secret, dark deeds they buried deep, can't stay concealed. Truth has a way of clawing its way out, and you're its conduit. Don't chase their downfall. Embody the exposure. Stand so firmly in your integrity that their lies unravel in your presence. Want to practice this? Speak what you know quietly to yourself at first. I see you. I know what you did. Then watch. The universe has a knack for syncing with your vibration. Those deleted messages resurface. Those hush talks leak. Their masks slip. You don't need to dig. You just need to shine. This isn't passive waiting, it's active creation. Take their circling energy and flip it into fuel. Picture this. Every time they schemed, they handed you a brick. Now build with it. Your mission isn't vague. It's personal, tangible. Sit down today and map it out. What's your truth? Maybe it's calling out injustice, healing what they broke, or showing others they can rise to. Write 3 steps, small, concrete, yours. Say it's cutting off a toxic tie. Step 1. Block the number. Step 2. Burn their words from your mind. Step 3. Replace their noise with your voice. Neuroscience proves action cements intent. Do it. Your path isn't a dream. It's a blueprint. Lay it down and walk it. Balance is your anchor here, because this fight isn't soft. Pride keeps them silent, gnawing at their insides like poison, while obsession drives them to claw at you still. You'll feel the heat, their desperation crashing against your calm. Don't sway. When it hits, pause. Breathe slow, 5 counts in, 5 out. Studies show this steadies your heart rate and keeps your frequency high. Feel the pride in your chest, not theirs, the pride of standing tall. Then shift. This hardship isn't my burden. It's their lesson. That's your mantra. Repeat it until it sticks. You're not here to carry their wreckage. You're here to build beyond it. Let's get practical. To bring this into reality, you've got to move with precision. Their secret games collapsing? Be the example. Live so transparently that their shadows have nowhere to hide. Share your story, not the gossip, but the strength. Maybe it's a quiet post online. I stood up. I walked away. I'm still here. Or a conversation with someone trapped in their own circle of snakes. You can break free too. Your life becomes the screenshot they can't erase, the chat they can't delete. Truth doesn't need a megaphone. It just needs you, living it, breathing it, being it. The emotional ride is real and it's raw. 1 minute, you're ironclad. The next, their echoes tug at old wounds. That's normal, your heart's human, not stone. When it stings, don't hide from it. Sit with it. Ask, what's this teaching me? Maybe it's resilience, maybe it's boundaries. Then act. Write it out, sweat it out, scream it out if you have to. Balance isn't pretending it doesn't hurt. It's knowing the hurt doesn't own you. Their obsession might poison them, but your pride, earned, unshakable, keeps you steady. You're not just surviving this, you're sculpting it into power. This new era you're crafting is not some distant utopia. It's now, in every step you take. They're pleading with the cosmos, their knees hitting the floor, their illusions shattering. That's the old world crumbling. You don't need to defend the truth. You embody it. Create your plan, one goal, one action, one shift at a time. Say it's exposing their lies. Start by exposing your strength. Say it's healing. Start by healing yourself. Every move you make ripples out, showing others the way. They thought they'd bury you, but you're the one planting seeds. You're not alone in this, chosen one. The truth you carry is a frequency, a signal others will feel. Some will resist, let them. Others will rise with you, welcome them. Your mission isn't to fight every snake. It's to outlast them, outshine them, outgrow them. Look in the mirror. That's not their hardship staring back. It's your victory. Their circling days are done. You've turned their betrayal into your becoming. Truth waits for no one, but it moves through you. Step into it. This is your era, claim it. In the end, chosen one, your mission transcends their chaos. It's the quiet, unrelenting force of your existence that rewrites the script. You're not just the one who sees through the serpents and vampires. You're the beacon that ignites a higher order, a living testament to the power of an awakened soul. Their illusions may crumble, their hunger may starve, but your purpose burns brighter with every step, forging a legacy that doesn't bend to their shadows. This is your identity, sealed and sovereign. Not merely to endure, but to illuminate a truth so fierce it carves the future from the ashes of their regret.